Hello guys, how are you doing? Hope everything is going well. So probably you already know that in the last days has been presented a new Samsung Galaxy, which is the S21 Ultra, with a new design and new functionalities. And this is also happening at the same time that I am looking for a new phone. I had before the Samsung Galaxy S8, which was a very good phone, but unfortunately I dropped this phone several times, so it's like a mess. All the cameras are broken. So then this is the time for looking for a new smartphone, and this is the point of the whole video. I am hesitating with two different models. This S21 that has been presented early this year and the previous Note 20 Ultra. I think both of them are my options now, as they are quite similar. They both seem to have the SPen capabilities, and yeah, they are so similar, but also they have different prices. So I just want to make sure that I make the best purchase for me. So first we are going to go through some differences, very global ones, because I don't want to make it like super detailed video. There are plenty of videos comparing specs between these different smartphones. So I think it's not going to be necessary, but I want to go through some key points that are not as discussed as it should be, I think. So yeah, let's start. Okay, so at first sight, we will look into these two models, the S21 Ultra and the S-Note 20 Ultra, and we can see that the Note has square borders, while the S21 has these rounded borders. I used to prefer these square borders from the Note 20 Ultra. I think this aesthetic from the Note generations are quite premium, and it feels like high quality. Having these two models in hand, I have tried them in the stores. I must say that the thickness of the S21 Ultra is too much for me. Even for the Note 20 Ultra, I think it's very on the max limit. For me, the best side for a smartphone was the one that the Note 10 Plus had. I was in love with that smartphone. It was the smartphone I wanted for years, and at the end, with this S8 broke, I wanted to buy this one, but it was impossible to find it, and when I was capable to find it, maybe it was the versions that didn't have the dual SIM, for example, and also they were like super expensive. They would cost like the new S21 Ultra, which is crazy. I know there was a lot of hype with this Note 10 Plus, and I totally understand it. I think it was a very good smartphone for me. As I said, it was perfect. That's why for me it's been so difficult to pick a new smartphone, and I am really hesitating between these two models, but I really want to make a decision and buy it because it's quite urgent. I need a new smartphone. So that's the point of the whole video. Okay, both models are quite nice. They both have nice colors too. I like this white, like with some green tints of the S20 Ultra. Is very beautiful, but I also like this golden rose color from the Note 20 Ultra. I must say I kind of prefer the design of this S20 Ultra in their cameras. I think it's more sophisticated. I think Samsung did the right decision going through that aesthetic, but it's okay also for the Note 20 Ultra. I think is good too, just it's not that relevant or not that original, but I personally like it too. Now about hardware specs, we can see that the benchmarks for the S20 Ultra has better performance than the ones for the Note 20 Ultra. Also, the cameras from the S20 Ultra seem to be improved from the latest Note 20 Ultra, but I must say that at the end we are talking about two premium smartphones that have great capabilities, great specs. So these improvements are not as critical or easy to detect in everyday use. If you are interested into these particular differences, you can check. There is tons of videos on YouTube going through these differences. But I don't want to take much time on this because for me they are not being critical differences and they won't make a point into the final decision. But I must talk about one important difference that could be critical for many of you, which is the absence of the SD slot in the S20 Ultra. Meanwhile, the Note 20 Ultra has it. So yeah, in this last version, in this S20 Ultra, you won't have the capacity to increase the external storage. Now, regarding a key point I think everyone is concerned of is the battery life. We can see that on paper the specs of the S20 Ultra about the battery capacity are much improved from the Note 20 Ultra. But digging on the internet and seeing some videos of people comparing these two battery lives in everyday use, we can see that theoretically improvement is not as expected in the everyday use. So we don't have that increase that we thought we should have. So this is an important information that we need to take into account. Is it worth it then, the cost that the S20 Ultra has, comparing it from the previous Note 20 Ultra? That depends, of course, in everyone's personal needs. Some of us prioritize one thing, some of us prioritize others. So now, based on my personal needs, I want to differentiate which model could suit me better. First, I chose these models because they were capable of using the SPen with them. The Note 20 Ultra has it integrated in their phone. Meanwhile, as for the S21 Ultra, it has a special cover that allows to store the SPen in it. But the thing is, this SPen is not the same as the SPen we had in the Note generations. This SPen for the S21 Ultra is an SPen that cannot be recharged on the phone, so it won't have any battery, so it will lose some functionalities the SPen has. This is kind of disappointing for me because I expected to have a full functionality working SPen, and now we know that it won't be the same. I don't know in the future, but what they want to sell now, it won't be the same. So having to have a special cover that will make the phone even bigger and an SPen that is not fully an SPen, this half functionality is not something I expect for my new phone. Also, as I explained before, the thickness of the S21 Ultra, it's quite big for me. When I grab it, I think it loses usability. You need to be very careful that you don't drop it. It's really difficult to avoid it doesn't slip. Its weight also is bigger. So I really think this is a very important point for me. Maybe for you, if you have bigger hands, it's something you won't take any attention. But for me, it's super important that I am able to use my phone and grab it without taking any special attention to, oh, will I drop it or not? I just want to use it as much as I can without having to think to being careful with this smartphone. It's just too big for my hands. So yes, I am buying the Note 20 Ultra. I think it's the best option for me. I am very happy to be decided at last, and now I want to hear your choice. Also, if you are hesitating between the S21 Ultra and the Note 20 Ultra, I want to know what you would choose, so please let me know in the comments down below. I also hope this video has been useful for you. If it is the case, give me a like, and for more videos like this I really encourage you to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in my next one.